The introduction of what has the potential to be the most transformational event in the history of XRP transactions has been successfully performed by Ripple for the first time, the project of the Phoenix. The burning of 55 billion XRP tokens is a sizable chunk of the cryptocurrency. In terms of size, this action is genuinely unprecedented, and it is a purposeful effort that is projected to dramatically reduce the quantity of XRP tokens that are now in circulation from 55 billion to just 5 billion. This movement is expected to have a huge impact due to the fact that it brings about a fundamental change in the economics of XRP. The reduction in supply is of the utmost importance. In a market that has been criticized for a considerable amount of time for having an enormous supply of tokens, this adjustment brings about scarcity so that tokens are scarcer. Burn's event is not a rumor, but rather a true game-changing occurrence that has already begun to affect investor mood, as stated by the official Burn wallet address. Burn's event has already begun to influence investor opinion. There is no doubt that this specific Burn event will take place. The number of people who are enthusiastic about XRP is growing as a result of the engagement of BlackRock, which is the largest asset management company in the world. BlackRock's participation in the cryptocurrency market is indicative of a new degree of institutional trust in the field. Based on data that has been released and an examination of files made by the OCC, it has been reported that BlackRock is going to invest a stunning $27 trillion in XRP via a technique that is known as a dark pool buying strategy. This recommendation is based on the fact that the OCC has revealed the data. Not only is the acquisition of tokens the objective of this substantial capital injection, but it is also a strategic move with the goal of establishing XRP as a dominant participant in the financial markets. The sheer volume of this investment stands in sharp contrast to the bulk of traditional asset allocations, and it marks a huge vote of confidence from one of the most prominent financial organizations in the world. It is just mind-boggling how much money was both invested and lost in the process. According to the perspectives of market analysts, the value of a single XRP token might potentially reach $10,000, which would result in a market capitalization of over 50 trillion. The reason for this is that the amount of XRP that is now in circulation has reduced to about 5 billion XRP, and BlackRock has joined the market with an injection of capital. For the sake of putting this into perspective, this amount is still smaller than the current market value of Apple, which is a sign that the growth potential of XRP is still enormous. In addition to reshaping the cryptocurrency sector, such an evaluation would also firmly solidify XRP's position as a key asset in the global financial system. This would be a significant step forward for the cryptocurrency industry. During this next Burn event, there is a countdown clock that is presently ticking down to the moment where Project Phoenix will officially begin. This clock is currently in the process of reaching its final destination. The level of urgency that is associated with this occurrence cannot be overstated with any degree of accuracy. Investors and traders are being encouraged to acquire XRP before the burn depletes the cryptocurrency's liquidity. This recommendation comes after the burn has already occurred. This is due to the fact that it is predicted that the lower supply would result in a significant supply shock, which will thus force prices to spike to an extremely high level. This provides a potentially historic opportunity for acquiring tokens, since big declines in token supply usually precede huge price movements. As a result, this presents a chance that may be considered historic. This is demonstrated by the historical trends that have been seen in the Bitcoin markets. The burn has greater repercussions for the position that Ripple holds within the ecosystem of global financial transactions. These ramifications are in addition to the numbers that are included inside the countdown. Ripple is effectively conveying the long-term value proposition of XRP by reducing the supply of the cryptocurrency and increasing the scarcity of the cryptocurrency. This is being done in a clear and succinct manner. This suggests that there has been a shift from speculative interest to true institutional adoption, which is further confirmed by the significant buy-in that BlackRock has gotten. Furthermore, the participation of such a prominent player not only reinforces the legitimacy of XRP, but also, to tell you the truth, sets the route for increased regulatory clarity and wider acceptability. This is because the XRP movement is expected to continue to grow in popularity. Market activity has already begun to reflect the anticipation that has been around Project Phoenix. This is a response to the expectation that has been surrounding it. In preparation for the burn, the major holders of XRP, who are commonly referred to as whales, have been moving hundreds of millions of tokens around in anticipation of the announcement. Numerous investors are certain that this event will serve as the impetus for the subsequent significant increase in the price of XRP. There is a great deal of speculation and excitement that is spreading throughout various social media platforms and cryptocurrency forums. The current situation is one in which traders are adjusting their positions. Analysts are now making adjustments to their price estimates in an upward direction. The prevailing sentiment in the market is one of cautious optimism paired with, some pretty tangible exuberance. This is the general attitude found in the market. This is the general feeling that prevails. The notion of burning tokens is only one aspect of Ripple's Project Phoenix. There are many other aspects as well. It is a strategic vision for the future of XRP as a fundamental component of global liquidity and international payments for international transactions. This vision is based on research and analysis. A growing number of governments and financial institutions are beginning to see the value of XRP in terms of its capacity to allow transactions across currencies that are not just speedy but also affordable. Because of the token burn, the supply dynamics of XRP are brought into line with the demand in the real world, which results in an improvement in the utility of this asset. For long-term holders and operators in the institutional sector, this makes XRP a more enticing asset than it would have been otherwise. On the other hand, the participation of BlackRock adds an extra level of gravity to the situation. Taking into consideration that BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world, their assistance involves more than just the distribution of cash. However, due to the fact that it is a strategic connection, it has the ability to influence the method in which XRP is integrated into traditional financial institutions. Their usage of so-called dark pools for acquisition reveals a savvy technique to expand a holding without producing fast price spikes, which implies that they are dedicated to the longer-term development of XRP. Dark pools are a type of cryptocurrency exchange that allows users to buy and sell XRP. Due to the fact that BlackRock's participation provides a level of scrutiny and legitimacy that, to tell you the truth, smaller investors simply cannot provide, this level of institutional support has the potential to aid in easing concerns around regulatory compliance. The token burn and BlackRock's investment both have the potential to operate as catalysts for the construction of more transparent frameworks concerning digital assets from a regulatory standpoint. This is because both mechanisms have the ability to burn tokens. Even though XRP has been the focus of legal examination for a significant length of time, the recent events may mark the beginning of a new age in which XRP is seen not just as a speculative token, but also as a legitimate financial instrument that has practical uses in the real world. This is because XRP has been exposed to legal scrutiny for a substantial period of time. This shift may have an effect on bigger regulatory policies in the United States and around the world, which may lead to the formation of new regulations for the regulation of cryptocurrencies. Also, this change may have an influence on financial markets. Immediately, the market's liquidity will be affected by the rise in supply that was brought about by the burning of 55 billion XRP. This increase in supply will have an immediate impact. Because there are much fewer tokens available for sale, it is projected that demand will exceed supply, which will lead to an increase in prices. This will be the case because market demand will be higher than supply. As a result of this shortfall, in addition to BlackRock's massive holdings and ongoing purchases, the conditions are perfect for an increase in price to take place. Before the market has had a chance to react to the new supply dynamics, investors who buy before the burn have the opportunity to make significant profits on their investments. With the support of Project Phoenix, Ripple is able to deepen its commitment to transparency and the generation of long-term value. Project Phoenix also helps to guarantee that concerns over pricing are taken into consideration. In an effort to instill confidence in the community, Ripple is not only publicly certifying the burn wallet, but also sharing statistics that can be confirmed regarding the destruction of tokens. This is part of Ripple's ongoing efforts to establish trust. In contrast to the fact that many projects avoid making disclosures of this sort, XRP's image as a genuine asset driven by utility is increased as a consequence of this transparency. This is in contrast to the fact that such disclosures are avoided by many projects. As we continue to count down to Project Phoenix, the community of people who utilize XRP is getting ready to mobilize. An abundance of talks, predictions, and strategies are taking place on social media as holders get ready for what many people believe will be a moment of defining significance. Each and every one of these may be observed simultaneously. A thirst for transformative events that have the ability to reignite excitement